Welcome to Palmilla, Mexico. Here we are, I think it's the 5th, I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful day here. I mean, I don't know, 82, 84 degrees. Surf is rolling in. Pool temperature about 85, and just a wonderful day to go take a walk, get in your steps, and reflect. So I reckon each and every one of you that have an opportunity to listen to this are thinking to yourself, what would it be like to live life on my terms? You may have heard that term before, that expression, but the truth of the matter is, it's what's the cost? What's the cost of flexibility? What's the cost of freedom? And it's usually a dollar figure combined with time, flexibility of time, and a flow of money coming in. And most people are so busy being busy, working for somebody else's dream, that they don't have enough time in a day and enough bandwidth to make enough money to really live the way they want to live. Oh yeah, take 2 or 3 weeks a year vacation if they're lucky, get a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend occasionally. But how about having the opportunity to take the rest of your life off in whatever fashion you want? That doesn't mean, hey man, I'm just gonna lay around on the beach, like that's what I'm doing today, walking on the beach, hanging out here, sharing some ideas with you, some thoughts, hopefully some inspiration. But I'm no different than anybody else. I had a dream to be a doctor and work my guts out. That's where, the only place that the word success comes before work is in the dictionary. And so there I was, out working the competition to get that esteemed spot in a medical school back in Toronto, and indeed achieved that dream and became a licensed physician and worked in the field for somebody else for a year and figured out what they're doing. I could do it for myself. And that's when I left that practice with a buddy of mine after about a year and headed to another city where I had looked all over the country with my buddy, and he chose Texas, Denton, Texas, and I chose Seattle. Why? Who knows why, other than that beautiful mountain. Landed there on a beautiful sunny day and in June and thought, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. You don't tan, you rust in Seattle is what I've been told by the recruiter that wanted me to go to some place called Seminole, Texas, in the middle of nowhere in West Texas. And so I planted my feet there in Seattle and began to build what I considered to be my business, until I found out that the insurance companies owned all the gold. They were buying and selling patients like herds of cattle. They were determining where the patients were going to go and how much the doctors were going to get paid. And many of us doctors that were solo doctors got left out of the equation because they negotiated with the bigger practices, with the managers of the practice and the hospitals that owned some of those practices. And before you knew it, medicine began to become corporate. Well, while I was seeing that trend happening, having come from a socialized medicine system, I said, I got to diversify. I got to do something. I didn't know what it was going to be. If it was going to be stocks, bonds, money instruments, real estate, start a little company. I thought about starting a what's called a freestanding emergency with a buddy of mine, the guy that went to Texas, and saying, hey, Eddie, why don't we set up something that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and give the patient population a choice beyond sitting in an emergency room for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, hoping to get seen when they could be seen quickly for a minor emergency situation. Not to take care of major medical things, but fairly minor, especially for those patients that didn't have a doctor, didn't have a family doctor, or it was after hours. So that was one of the things we were thinking about pioneering, until I met some people that got involved in the dropship business, and they were utilizing a form of catalog marketing at the time, call toll-free numbers. This is well before you could actually go online and order. So you'd call a toll-free number, order up the product, and bam, it got drop shipped to you little shipping fee that went along with it. And I thought, that's interesting. But I met some people that were what I would say non-corporate types from all kinds of different backgrounds that had successfully reached a level of remuneration, income, net income, that they were living a pretty dang good life. And some of them were doctors and lawyers and accountants and blue collar and no collar, you name it. And I thought, I'm going to give this a shot. And I had no idea where it was going to go. And it wasn't like I took off like a rocket ship. I took off slow and methodically, hoping that this could be one of the ways to do it. And as I've studied successful men and women and read their books and listened to their podcasts, I realized that focus is the key. Most people are trying to do 101 different things instead of finding something, committing to it, and then focusing in. Well, that's what I did after about 2.5 years of fiddling around and doing a bunch of things along with this dropship business, supplier to consumer dropship business. So finally, I saw too many other people reach significant levels of success. I said, it's my time. It's my time to get her done. And I put my shoulder to the wheel, and my wife and I, made some things happen. And so it's made all the difference in the world, because 30 plus years ago, went part-time in medicine, probably 35, 36 years ago, when I was in my 30s, early 30s, went part-time in medicine, working 15 hours a week, and then graduated right out of that 31 years ago. And have never looked back and not thought about looking back, and just been looking ahead and enjoying life, and basically recurring income flowing in. And I know how to operate the business, work the business, and not have to be consumed by 80 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. How to do this like we're doing right now. And I'll tell you what, it's a powerful system. So my encouragement to you is, if you want some freedom, if you want to travel and go do what you want to do and pay for college educations cash, and be able to pay your home off or have multiple homes, or just, totally be debt free, whatever it happens to be, and nobody is pulling your chain, nobody's cranking your, putting the handcuffs on you, those golden handcuffs, or shackling you to a 40, 50, 60 hour week job, because the guys that own those companies typically are looking for somebody else to do all that work. By the way, that's Palmilla over there, beautiful Palmilla and Via Del Mar. That's where April and I live, right around the corner there in Palmilla. Pretty awesome. I'm on the 3rd fairway ocean course right now. And so I'm just here to say, guys and gals, you got to start somewhere. And if you just kind of poke around and look at this and look at that, don't really zero in and make a decision to, roll your sleeves up and get tied in with somebody that knows what they're doing, that's willing to take you alongside, mentor and coach you, then you can become a wandering generality, and 10 years can go by and 20 years can go by, and you go, oh, it's too late. Well, it's never too late, but the reality is momentum is everything. So I'm just here to encourage you to learn as much as you can about how to create a business that's unscripted, meaning it's not something like a regular corporate job, something that can provide you way more flexibility and freedom, and a form of time leverage and business leverage based on building out a large network. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. Can't go into any of the details right now. Somebody else will provide you those details. But I just want you to think about, here's a kid that came from middle-class America, in Canada actually, North America, and left his home country, came to the U.S., started a medical business, then started a dropship business, and have had 3.5 or so decades of freedom and lots to go. Love you. You're the best. Can't wait to see you. And come to Palmilla. Come visit it down here. It's pretty amazing. Have a great day. Hope this made sense to you.